Earlier today, I did a dedicated video titled Arknights Endfield Listened, where I went over and documented all the changes, the implementations, and the alterations that are being made to the game as part of the Hypergriff Arknights Endfield devlog. But did they deliver? I want to take a minute here to go over everything in a little bit more detail, but also take a look at the comment sections from our community specifically. As you can see, the video was just posted 59 minutes ago. Publicly, it's sitting at 1,300 views. Realistically, it's sitting at 2,000 views. It's currently sitting at over 95% likes. Improvements to the dodge prompt is needed, and good they're improving it. It's too hard to see when your attacks are also red and animations are flashy. Let's go. Rossi, physical, yes. Glory to Hypergriff. Hypergriff Arknights winning again. P5 Rossi. What about more currency for weapon pulls? This is an issue I see echoed across social media, that there aren't enough weapon pulls. And I get it. I think in a lot of instances, people still believe that there aren't enough pulls in general, that the pull income just needs a little bit of adjustment, which they also touched on. You can now obtain basic headhunting permits from the protocol pass, the battle pass. They confirmed that there are basic headhunting permits that are coming with the et space. They confirmed that there are some coming as well with the stock exchange, or more to the stock exchange. This means that they're expanding numerous different avenues with which to allow for players to acquire additional pulls. So I think this is going to go a little ways here to alleviate some of the stress that players are encountering when it comes to the acquisition of characters, the acquisition of weapon pulls. Is it the all-encompassing solution that we wanted? No, but it's still a great start. Y'all got to remember, this is the very first patch, the very first follow-up patch to launch. There are going to be changes made here. There are going to be changes made in 1.2, changes made in 1.3 that are all going to take effect over time. We shouldn't expect too much this early on in the development process or the release of the game. But what we should do is expect them to implement these changes, these fixes, and these solutions over time. We shouldn't stop requesting them. We shouldn't stop discussing them. Instead, we should make sure that our voices are heard so they don't ignore it. They don't just push it aside. But at the same time, we also should take a moment here to also understand that these things do take time to roll out and to actually implement into the game. Enfield is feeding us good next patch. Tong Tong is coming home. The updates were meh. Optimizations only really help newer players. I've done my zip lines. I got enough overall materials to promote an army. Optimized essences are meh. You need to farm them a lot anyway to upgrade essences. Getting the one you want is inevitable. Well, I mean, let's be real. That's not always the case. Some of us are horrifically unlucky. I've absolutely no interest in et space salvage. I don't need a red flashbang every time a boss can get staggered. It was already clear enough to see. The events look subpar to me, but this is a preference, I guess. I pulled characters, so I want more combat. Free pulls in battle pass is appreciated. The characters look amazing, but they don't fit my teams, or my teams are set. I actually feel this is very much the same with me. I have Surtur and her respective team built, but I also pulled Yvonne, and I don't have a team that can complement her in any capacity. I didn't get Gilberta. I'm already thinking about 1.2, and 1.1 isn't even dropped yet. I mean, let's be real, we all are. Arknights Enfield is so good. The future of this game looks amazing, but I'm going to save all my pulls for Funya. No more surveys? You know, I might be in the minority here, I don't know, but I'm of the impression that if a company doesn't roll out surveys, then they believe their game is complete. They believe that their game is flawless and has no faults. I think rolling out and hosting surveys is actually proof that they believe their game needs improvement, that their game is flawed, and that players might just have that insight that they need for the game to improve, for the game to get better, which is good overall. It is them admitting that they are working on the game, working to improve things. Now, is it good that they released, what, like half a dozen surveys in as many weeks? Probably not. That likely means that there's more that needs improvement than they initially perceived. But at the same time, as a direct consequence of all those surveys going live, it likely means that they're working to fix as many of them as possible, and they are gauging player interest here when it comes to the things that they can change, the things that they can implement. And like I mentioned earlier, all these things do take time. Being impatient and just hating on the game because you want something now instantaneously isn't going to do you any good. It's not going to do the game any good. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. And then you have idiots like this guy. Too late. Screw this game and its dying community. I mean, evidently, people like that are just vying for attention. I don't know why. Maybe they're bullied in school. Maybe they have no friends. Maybe their parents don't love them. I have no idea. I don't know where this hate comes from. If you don't like a game, you just don't play it and you move on. That's how I like to view things. But I think overall, from what I've seen in the, I don't know, we have probably nearing on 100 comments left already. Our community has received this update very well. They had a very positive reception to it. The overwhelming majority of our viewers seem very happy with the state of 1.1 and where things ultimately seem to be moving in the future. We get the odd person coming in here and there with like 1 or 2 comments that are just saying the same thing, echoing the same hate. This game sucks, it's gonna die. When in reality, the game has been out for several weeks and it did phenomenally in its first month. And if you look at all of its stats across social media, the numbers are crazy. They are doing phenomenally. Whether the game succeeds or not is something that will happen over time. It's not something that's just going to immediately happen within the first month. There are going to be ebbs and flows, inclines, declines, rises and falls, depending on the patch, depending on the characters that are released. It's just like what happened with Wuthering Waves. Hoyo players criticized Wuwa, said the game was gonna die, that it wasn't any competition whatsoever. 2.0 came out, did incredibly. 3.0 came out, did even better. iMyth came out and has topped the charts. I mean, we don't need to hate on Enfield. Wuwa got enough hate as it was, and Wuwa proved that a game and its devs that listen over time can build something worth playing. I think overall, 1.1 looks like it has some great improvements. They have improvements to the pull economy, where you can obtain more headhunting permits. These are standard headhunting permits. There are gameplay improvements as well. These include things like the visual effect when fighting bosses. These include things like the multi-line engraving kit. These include quality of life improvements to various different aspects of the game. The AIC, there are brand new characters coming. Tong Tong, who I really like the look of. I don't have a full cryo squad available right now. Again, as I noted, I did pull Yvonne. I got her in my first 10 pull, but I just have not had the willingness to build a cryo team because my Levitain team is just so powerful and destroys and dominates every bit of content that I do. On the other hand, Rossi just, I don't know, she's a very cute character, but she doesn't interest me. I just don't really have that innate need to get her. I am personally saving for the 2 mommy characters, Mifu and Zhuang Fengya. These are probably the 2 best looking characters in the game up until this point. Overall, across social media, things have been pretty positive as well. You get the occasional Doom poster, people that just wanted more this early in the development process. I'm sure there are going to be the, a select few people that go into this video that leave a negative comment saying, game sucks, game dead, when the reality is it's subjective. Whether you like the game or not, it's totally fine if you don't, but a lot of us do. A lot of my community loved this game and also love Wuthering Waves and also love Nikke and also love Genshin Impact or Zenless Zone Zero. I think it's definitely possible to do all of that, to like all those games. And at the end of the day, I see Enfield making improvements like this and I am happy. Is it enough based off of my community's reception? Yeah, it's a very good step in the right direction. Based off of other communities that just hate the game? Probably not. And that's okay, because let's be real, these are communities that weren't gonna play the game anyway. These are communities that gravitate around something just to hate on it. It's like what Genshin players do to Wuthering Waves. Genshin players don't play Wuthering Waves, but they hate on every aspect of it. They will never play it, but they will hate on everything that happens within it. There are people that will never play Enfield, but will continue to hate every facet of the game. You just filter those people out. You ignore them and they get bored. Or they don't get bored and nobody listens to them. It's really, that's it. You just don't pay them any mind whatsoever. They will eventually move on to something else. They'll eventually find something else to channel that hatred into while you enjoy the game that you like. And ultimately, I'm going to be doing that, enjoying thoroughly Arknights Endfield, Wuthering Waves, and all the other games that I like and that I'm looking forward to. Once again, is this enough to change the trajectory of the game? Probably not. But at the same time, I don't think the trajectory is heading downward. I think the trajectory is just going to find a place and stabilize there until future patches come with more content, more features, more quality of life improvements, and until the game gets progressively better. Once again, much like Wuthering Waves did. The reason I know this is because they've done phenomenal work with OG Arknights. Hypergriff are very talented, very passionate developers, and at the same time, well, I've been covering Wuthering Waves since release. And trust me, Hypergriff know their shit. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.